Hello there, my friend. I definitely didn't just spill a V8 all over myself. Today, on How to Be an Influencer with Benjamin Shrader, we are going to be discussing a very interesting topic. Kindness is the new currency. Now, you may be saying, Ben, that sounds ridiculous. I want that cheddar cheese. I don't want to be talking about being nice to people. If you want that cheddar cheese, well, being nice helps a lot. Now, there are a couple aspects to this. When I was first building my own brand, my business, I was out every single night talking to bouncers, talking to production people, talking to managers. And really the only reason I got a shot was, one, I was easy. I was nice. I was easy to work with. Not easy in that other sense. I realize how that sounds. But it is so critical that you're polite, that you're nice. And also, too, an aspect of this that is important to address is you need to know the audience you're speaking to. This is something I will be also discussing in other videos, your target audience versus what the brands you work with want versus what your sponsors want. But in this video, we'll be addressing how to be nice and how to talk to different groups and different types of people. So first off, let's say your peers. That's easy. You can just overall be yourself. You just be polite, you be nice. Next, the people of authority who are around the same age. Now, the reason I make a distinction with this is, as you get older, you have to, as the people you're talking to get older, you do need to change a little bit of the way that you're going to act. So people in authority that are your same age, you're going to be polite, you're going to be not fully deferential, but you are going to be a little more deferential. You could even start off, and this is a double-edged sword, you can start off with things like sir and such. Of course, if you have a young face, like a beautiful young face like yours truly, if you lead off with that or you call people by their last name, they can say, oh, this is a kid, get out of here. So I would say, yeah, use their first name, go and, just have a good banter, be polite, and make it clear that you're not trying to step on their toes. Now, a person of authority who's older. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Ben, why the heck should I have to treat somebody just because they're old better? You just have to. And a lot of times old people have power and money. So you want to be deferential. And if they don't know about technology, oh, I've had incidents like this. You want to be nice about it. And you want to also pitch to them that, let's say you're wanting to be an influencer for a nightclub. That's how I kind of got my start. You're going to say, okay, this can help actually drive business. It's an ad, like in a newspaper. You don't want to make them feel too old, but it's like an ad you might see online, but it's a person doing it to another person. So being nice, being deferential, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, using their last name, Mr. So-and-so, is very important because they appreciate that respect. And even if, and I do this with all older folks, and we're talking probably like 35 and above when I'm saying older. I'm 25, so, and excuse me, that V8 is making me burp a little bit. Now that's not very seemly. But you want to basically show that you're the younger one and you're recognizing that and you're being polite to your elders. And they'll appreciate this a lot. I've encountered this in the entrepreneurial space. I've encountered this in the nightlife space, that people really appreciating you being deferential. And if you are younger, let's say you're 18. I got into this when I was 18, putting on events and things like that. I was very polite and very deferential to my elders, and it definitely helped a lot. Now, shifting gears a little bit, let's say we're talking to an artist. We're talking to a position of someone in power. This may be someone who's a big YouTuber, somebody who's famous. Now, I know what people might say right off the bat. Treat them like everybody else. No, they might say they want that. They don't. They are powerful and they have worked for that so that they're not treated like everyone else. I think that is an end goal for a lot of us, my friends, to not be treated like the common man, to be above. These people don't want to be the common man. That's why they're famous. I have had, I would say, I've worked with many, many famous people, and I've had a few that are actual acquaintances or friends. I am going to be polite. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be excited about the new things that they have going on. I'm going to, depending on their personality, ask about, oh, how's things going? How is this? Oh, that must have been crazy. Those type of things. And I won't as much share about myself. It can be useful to share tidbits here and there to show that you're not so far beneath them that you're not worth talking to. And then also too, in all of these conversations, as someone who's trying to climb the ladder, as someone who's trying to become one of influence, you're going to want to say to these people, what do I have to offer you? What can I bring to the table to glorify you? Basically, what your service is. Now, as an influencer, that's going to be saying, okay, I can offer you this audience. When I was at Texas A&M and when I was down there doing the work in College Station that I would do, I built up a great following of Texas A&M students. And I worked very closely with the fraternities and sororities. So I had this target market, this audience that I could monetize and sell to companies, sell to nightclubs, sell to artists, that I had these guaranteed people who followed my stuff and were going to come out to shows. Very important, because as an influencer, you can get a lot of stuff for free if you start to be able to build up some sort of following. I'd say you need to, your goal, like let's say you have 0 followers right now, needs to be to get to 10,000. I know that's crazy, but 1,000 first and then 10,000. After you get to 10,000, a lot of doors open up for you. I believe that is the threshold for Instagram to post links to your story, that you need at least 10,000. That might be an old rule. I do need to check up on that. But once you get that, that's great. And then of course, it is an expense, but one you need to take into account. You need to be buying Meta verified. You need to be buying the Twitter verified. You need to do all those things for legitimacy. And when talking with all of these people, legitimacy is a huge thing. If you're not legitimate, why would anybody listen to you? People need to think you're legitimate, even if at first you're working towards that. Now, when I say legitimacy, I don't mean you're not scamming people. Don't do that. That's how you build up a bad reputation and lose out in the long run. What I mean is people believing that you can do what you're saying you can do. First nightclub I worked with, I was their social media manager guy and their promoter of events as social media promoter, not one of those scummy ones on the street. That'd be gross. But I had no idea what I was doing. But I had a general idea of it. Guy gave me a chance. And from that, I was able to build up from there. So you need a website that works, and make sure the link works, and that you pay the Squarespace or whoever. It doesn't need to be great. It doesn't even need to be optimized. Not at first. It needs to be there so that people can see it and say, okay, he has a website. The people that do look into you. You're going to want to check your email a lot. You're going to want a business card. I have plastic business cards because it conveys legitimacy. This is why I would always wear a sport coat. I would always be in a suit every single night, showing that legitimacy, showing that professionalism. And that's something that's going to be an overarching thing throughout all of the different people you might be talking to. Professionalism. Manners are also going to play a role in this. If you're going out to eat with someone, if you're going to grab drinks with someone, you're going to not want to look like a slob. That's going to turn people off. That's going to make people say, oh, what's this? Yeah, gross, get away from me. You're also going to want to look good. Now, you don't have to be Mr. GQ, like yours truly. Sorry, I'm not that arrogant, not publicly. You don't have to be 5-star, look crazy. I'm 5'10", I'm not 6'1", Tom Brady. Is he considered handsome? I don't know. Ronald Reynolds or whatever. You don't need to be that. But you do need to smell good, be clean shaven, unless your beard or mustache is a look that you go for and actually looks good on you. You can ask people what they genuinely think, or even people on the street, but they'll usually tell you look okay, but you might not. So yeah, ask your mother or father, do you actually look good? So you're gonna wanna be washed, take a shower every day. I know it's a crazy, crazy concept. I know that my environmentalist friends are gonna be freaking out, but you need to be washed, you need to look good. And this all comes in when talking with all these different types of people. Additionally, when talking with these people, I'll throw in a little tidbit for you. I have a strict rule with myself and my personnel when putting on an event and when dealing with these types of things. No drinking, no doing drugs, and no going after whatever sex you like. Don't mix business and love. Never date. If you're working with nightclubs, let's say, never date a bartender. Never talk to these people in that way. It's a bad idea. I can't really tell you from experience, as I've avoided doing that, and I have dated extensively outside of that world. There was one I almost talked to. I almost broke my own rule, but I said no. I have known horror stories where people have dated someone and yeah, it has not gone well and they've lost out on contracts, they've lost out on a lot. So what are some of our biggest takeaways? Be polite to old people. I know. Dress in a way that is going to make you look professional. And this doesn't have to be a suit. This can be a nice Henley. This can be a nice linen shirt. But dress in a way that can not only relate to young people, but can seem polite and professional to old people. Don't use bad language. I know this is a crazy thing. We all love dropping a few F-bombs here and there, but especially if it's someone you're going to be working with and someone who already sees influencers maybe as not the best, yeah, don't curse. And also too, don't use slang. A lot of people might not understand it. You know, if I said, oh, that's cap, to someone who's 70, or let's be more realistic, a nightclub owner that's 60. That's cap, my friend. He's not going to know what that means. So I would say, oh no, I feel that policy isn't correct or isn't true. So yeah, I will do a video on translating a lot of young people terms for our wonderful older folks, which will be a little funny. So next, deferential. And this can also be with celebrities. This can be with people in power, people who are older, all those different types of things. So yeah, kindness is the new currency. Be nice. I mean, people say that it's such a cutthroat world. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit, but overall, there's plenty of pie, cake, or whatever to go around. I've seen people I know in, whether it's the influencer space, I've seen entire influencer pods or whatever they call it fall apart because everybody was a jerk. Everybody was arrogant and self-absorbed, and don't show that side of yourself publicly. I mean, just be nice. I know it's difficult sometimes for people in the entrepreneurial space to understand, but you will not lose out to people who are so cutthroat and so mean and are ready to go and take down everybody else. No. Be polite, be nice, and you'll win more, and you'll make allies. Allies are very important. Becoming friends with the influencers in the space that you want to be an influencer in. And when I say influencers, I don't always mean the traditional sense. I mean the people, the keys to power, as rules for rulers would teach us. So that's that. It is simple, my friend. Be nice. Don't be too cutthroat, just a little bit. Look good and be polite. Yeah, take those cotillion lessons or whatever. Is it called that? I don't know. I could do a whole nother video on knowing the basics of those types of things and how important it is. You gotta know how to two-step waltz and such, and beyond that, avoid dancing. So, yeah. It has been a wonderful time, as always. I was thinking I would end a lot of these videos with a quote of the day. And with the Fallout TV show being not that old, I think I will use one from Robert House. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the window. Much love.